On the front line of the battle to stop those opportunists, foreclosure attorneys Margaret Giroux and Rebecca Schur. They are both with the Anti-Predatory Lending Project. They join us today. And Rebecca, we have you as part of the tag team, and Margaret's in the newsroom. But I want to throw this out to you, Margaret, first. How do you divvy up your responsibilities in these kinds of cases?
Rebecca and I actually work very closely together, and I wouldn't say that we divvy them up, that we really work as a team. Our project is a direct representation project. That is, people in trouble with their mortgages and who think that they may have been the victim of predatory lending or something untoward with regard to their home can call the Legal Services Hotline at 1-888-576-5529. That's our legal hotline, and they will get an appointment to speak to either Rebecca or myself, or maybe ultimately get hooked up with one of the 150 private attorneys whom we've recruited to help in this foreclosure crisis.
Okay, Margaret, we are definitely going to be putting that number on our website, news12.com, numbers and links. And Rebecca, tell us, I can only imagine at this time you guys must be pretty busy. I mean, this is a time when you're really helping families out. Give us kind of a pulse of the people. What are you seeing and how are you helping them?
We see a lot of different foreclosure-related issues, but the primary issue that we deal with is predatory lending, which is a fancy way of saying mortgage fraud. We primarily take calls from low-income individuals, those who are at 200% of poverty or below. But lately we've been getting a lot of calls from people who are over that income level and who have been affected by the foreclosure crisis as well.
Yeah, we had a gentleman, a banker, who was here earlier in the week and had mentioned that there are a lot of people who are living on what we call Main Street, but who really are one paycheck away from being destitute. And these are the people that, as I understand, you're getting more of these calls from.
That's true, although we focus primarily on the low-income individuals, and what we see is a tremendous amount. Most of what we see is refinance loans. There seems to be a misconception that these are purchase money loans, loans that people use to buy houses that are unaffordable to them, and that's simply not true. These are usually cases of equity stealing, places where borrowers had equity in their homes, and through unscrupulous lending practices, they were defrauded out of that equity.
Let me throw this out to Margaret in the newsroom. We're going to be focusing on one of those cases today involving just such a scenario, and the attorney in that case mentioned that the AG's office gets these cases and has been dragging its feet in prosecuting them. In general, would you say that's the case?
I wouldn't have experience in the AG's office prosecution, the prosecution of them as a criminal matter. Our focus is on civil enforcement, and I do know that the Attorney General's office has recently filed 4 civil suits concerning what we would call foreclosure rescue scams. I think you started to allude to that at the beginning of the hour, and unfortunately, because people aren't always aware of exactly what their situation is, there are public available lists that let opportunists know when you're in trouble and when you're in trouble with your mortgage, and so they get your phone number and your name, and they can even pull your credit, and so they can call you and say, gee, Peggy, I see that you're in trouble and I can help you. Don't listen to those lawyers, and bankruptcy's really not for you. I can help you. And all you have to do is sign these papers, and what you're really signing is over the deed to your house to someone else who's promising to rent it back to you, and maybe you could buy it later on. And the attorney—
Sure sign of a scam. Margaret, we're going to put your number on our website, yes, and we thank you and Rebecca for joining us this morning. Certainly great information, and we will pass that on to the viewers. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you very much for having us.